You wake up, and before you even sit up in bed, you feel it. That uncomfortable dryness in your mouth. Your tongue feels heavy, your lips tight, and the first thing your body reaches for is water. Not because you want it, but because you need it. If this is happening to you often, you've probably brushed it off. Maybe you've told yourself it's just part of getting older. Maybe you think it's nothing more than dehydration. But here's what most people don't realize. Waking up with a dry mouth every single morning is not something your body does without a reason. It's a signal. And in many cases, it's pointing to something happening during the hours you're asleep, something you may not even be aware of. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and on this channel, we focus on helping you understand your body through real, evidence-based insight so you can take practical steps toward better health. Let's start with something simple, but incredibly important. Your body produces around 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva every single day. That saliva isn't just there by chance. It protects your teeth, controls harmful bacteria, helps you swallow, and even supports digestion. So, when you consistently wake up with a dry mouth, that's not just discomfort. That's a noticeable change in how your body is functioning. Research published in journals like Gerodontology shows that dry mouth is extremely common in older adults, but more importantly, in most cases, it isn't the problem itself. It's a symptom of something deeper. One of the most common causes is something many people never think twice about: the medications they take every day. If you're over 60, there's a good chance you're taking at least one prescription medication, often several. And what many people don't realize is that hundreds of commonly used medications, including those for blood pressure, allergies, mood, and sleep, can reduce saliva production. But it's not just one medication that causes the issue. It's the combination. Studies in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society have shown that when multiple medications are taken together, the likelihood of chronic dry mouth increases significantly. These effects don't just add up, they intensify. So, if your dry mouth started around the time a new medication was introduced, that may not be a coincidence. It may already be your answer. Another cause, and a much more serious one, is something that happens quietly while you sleep. For millions of people, dry mouth is actually a sign of disrupted breathing at night. This condition is known as obstructive sleep apnea. When sleep apnea occurs, your airway partially collapses during sleep. As a result, your body shifts from breathing through your nose to breathing through your mouth. Over several hours, that constant airflow dries out your mouth completely. But the dryness isn't the real danger. Sleep apnea affects oxygen levels in your body, and research from the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine has linked untreated sleep apnea to a higher risk of stroke, high blood pressure, and heart disease. So, if you snore, wake up feeling unrefreshed, or feel tired even after a full night's sleep, your dry mouth might be one of the first warning signs your body is giving you. Another possibility lies in your blood sugar. When blood glucose levels rise, your body tries to correct the imbalance by pulling fluid from your tissues to dilute the excess sugar. This process reduces saliva production and leads to dryness. According to the National Institutes of Health, a large percentage of people with poorly controlled type 2 diabetes experience chronic dry mouth. What makes this even more important is that many people live with elevated blood sugar levels without knowing it. If your dry mouth is accompanied by fatigue, frequent urination, or blurred vision, it's something worth taking seriously. There's also a quieter, more subtle cause that often goes unnoticed. As we age, the body's natural thirst response becomes less reliable. That means you can be dehydrated without actually feeling thirsty. Research in the European Journal of Nutrition shows that older adults are more likely to live in a state of chronic, low-level dehydration. During the day, your body adjusts to it. But overnight, when you're not drinking fluids, the effects become much more noticeable. That's when the dryness appears. Finally, there is an often overlooked condition that affects the body's ability to produce moisture altogether. It's an autoimmune issue that targets the glands responsible for saliva and tear production. People experiencing this often notice not only dry mouth, but also dry eyes, fatigue, and sometimes joint discomfort. Because these symptoms develop gradually, they're often mistaken for normal aging and ignored. But they shouldn't be. So what should you do with all of this? Start by paying attention. Look at your medications. Notice any recent changes. Pay attention to how you sleep and how you feel when you wake up. Do you feel rested or still exhausted? If something doesn't feel right, follow that instinct. It's often more accurate than we give it credit for. If you haven't checked your blood sugar recently, consider doing that. And when it comes to hydration, don't wait until you feel thirsty. By that point, your body is already trying to catch up. Staying consistently hydrated throughout the day can make a meaningful difference. For temporary relief, using an alcohol-free oral rinse designed for dry mouth before bed can help. Just make sure you avoid anything that contains alcohol, as it can actually make the dryness worse. And one important note, if your dry mouth is accompanied by pain, difficulty swallowing, or anything unusual, don't ignore it. Get it checked sooner rather than later. Because something as simple as a dry mouth can sometimes be the first visible sign of something deeper happening inside your body. If this helped you see your symptoms in a new way, stay with us. There's always more to understand when it comes to your health. Take care of yourself. Your body is always communicating. The question is, are you listening?